Hey, so I just wanted to show you a sample walkthrough of how I create my lesson plans and the slides that go with them and link everything as quickly as possible. So this is my sample classroom Google Drive, and I've got folders for each of my grade levels. Let's go to kindergarten, and as you can see, I have different concepts have their own folders with different things that I can quickly access. So for example, any resources I have that should do with the four voices, I can quickly look and see what I've got, what I might need, whatever, stuff to inspire me. Because you know how sometimes after a while you start to forget what you have. So that's what each folder would kind of look like. Now let's go back to the lesson plans and slides folder. And this is where all my plans and the lesson slides would go. And for this, I used, like I said in the blog post, I used my free lesson plan template that I created. And I like to color code, so I use the red accented slides for my kindergarten plans and then orange for first and through the rainbow. But as you can see here, I put in for the greater subject K, lesson 6. Completed is where you can put like, okay, Miss Jones' class got through this lesson, but Miss Garcia's class was on the field trip that day, so they're not on there yet. So it can help you remember. I put in the skills and activities that they have in this lesson, because then you can see as you start to have more and more plans on the side here, and you can scroll through like, wow, we've done a lot of vocal exploration, but we haven't used instruments in a couple lessons, and it kind of helps keep you on track. For the standards, I like to just highlight the ones that the lesson uses, so I use these little transparent bars. And then objectives, I put them in like the way I will present them to the students, right here in my lesson plan. And materials, for this lesson, it would be the lesson 6 slides. And there's a SillyOMusic PowerPoint game that we're going to use. That I cannot link because of sound file issues. So I would put that in there as well so that I can get that ready to go before the lesson. But for my lesson 6 slides, I can actually link straight to it. So I'm going to highlight that, right click, link, and there are my lesson slides in my Google Drive, right? By the way, sorry if you can hear my dogs. Okay. And now that is clickable. So if I'm going through my plans, I've got my plans up for the week, I can quickly access the correct slides. And so can my administrator if need be. You can do the same thing with your sub-plans. The sky's the limit. So here are my lesson slides for this sample lesson. And they are the objectives. I can move to the steady beat. I can tell the difference between the four voices. So these are my visual music schedule slides that you can get in my shop. I have a link to it in this blog post, and I have a whole blog post about how I use them. But just that this is how I start out each lesson. I display the agenda, and then we just move right on through. So for the hello song, we've got it. And if you're wondering how it goes, it's hello everybody, hello, hello and welcome to music. Hello everybody, hello, how are you today? And this is one I learned many, many years ago. I did not write it. And instead we input for the word everybody, we substitute the student's name, and they get to say how they're feeling that day. So this is the social emotional aspect. Then we've got our vocal warm-ups. I used my Bounce House Fun vocal explorations, and because they are a PDF, I just screenshot the slides I wanted from that PDF So to insert these, all you do is you make your screenshot. On my Mac, it's Shift Command 5 to just quickly do that. And you can either drag and drop them straight into it if you have a Mac, or I'm not sure how it is on a PC, or you can do insert image, upload from computer. So I just chose 4 of those explorations and put them up there. Then they would do the copycat game. So for the copycat game, the whole the idea behind it is steady beat practice. And so the first time I put on music with a strong steady beat, I'll move one way for like 16 beats, same steady beat motion, and they copy me. Then I'll choose a student who seems to be doing well with a strong steady beat, and they get to come up to the front and they choose a motion and they do that for a little while. And then I say, okay, you can pick somebody, or I pick the next person. And you just keep taking turns having somebody be the leader, and everybody else copies their steady beat motion in their spot. And so here I just inserted the music ready to go. If you have like Spotify on your phone and you want to just pull it up that way, that's fine too. But it's always nice to just have something ready just in case. So how I did that is just insert video, and you can actually search YouTube, or you can have it pulled up on YouTube beforehand, copy and paste and put the URL in. Or you can insert the music from your Google Drive if you're fancy. But yeah, I think I just put in like ABC Jackson 5. And then I would select one of these. Let's do a different one just so you can see. And there it's ready to go. I can just click it and it puts on their music. You can even choose a start and end time if you don't want to use the whole song. See how fancy. Okay. So after that, they were going to play a game to assess their oral recognition of the 4 different voices. So what I did here is I put in a screenshot from SillyOMusic's fabulous 4 corners game for the 4 voices. She has a lot of 4 corners games. I'm going to link it in the blog post so you can find this for yourself. This one, however, we can't link to because you're going to want to use the PowerPoint. That's why I listed it separately in the lesson plan so that you can get that put up ahead of time. But I just wanted to display which corner they should go to for each of the different kinds of voices. But then on my school computer, then I would have the PowerPoint up in presentation mode so that all of the embedded sounds work. And then the game is super easy for the teacher to use. Really recommend. They get moving. Wonderful assessment. Okay. Then they do a story time, and it's a really nice way to get everybody calm and centered before we leave. So this is the John Feyerabend. Here I just found a photo on Google Images of the story of the actual picture book I was going to read with kids. You could really do something fancy and put in your own like Google Drive video of you reading it, or I just like to show that and on the slide, and then I'll bring out my own book and just traditionally read/sing the story to them. And then I end with a goals check. So the kids self-assess, and these are in my freebie library. So if you signed up for the free lesson plan template, then you have access to the whole freebie library, and these are in them. And I just screenshot the cards and put them here so that the kids can remember the different options, and they can hold up the number for how they think they're feeling with each of the goals. And then our goodbye song, which by the way goes, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, our music work is done. And that is one that I learned during student teaching a long time ago. I do not remember what it is from. And actually, I remember my student teacher didn't remember where it was from either. So if you know, please share with me. Um, and that is a walkthrough of how I have been doing lesson plans as of late. If you have any questions, comments, please either leave a comment on this blog post or you can email me at mrscookiesmusicroom@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram. I'm on there way too often. So I hope this all helped and have a great